Welcome to Game 2 of the 1974 World Series. The American League champions, the Oakland A's, versus the National League champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Brought to you by Gillette, makers of the dry look. #1 aerosol for men's hair. No wonder the wet head is dead. And by your nearby Dodge dealer, to invite you to see the change in Charger. It's a whole new car. And our helicopter moves in over packed and jammed Dodger Stadium again. Yesterday, an all-time record crowd for this stadium since they moved here to Los Angeles. And, of course, the Dodgers could be in trouble. Hi, everybody. Kurt Gowdy, Vin Scully, Tony Kubek. No team has ever lost the first 2 games of a World Series on their home grounds and gone on to win the series. So the Dodgers are up against it, but they have their ace going today, a man who's been the hottest pitcher in baseball, Don Sutton. He's won 15 of his last 16 decisions. The A's will counter with a left-hander, Vida Blue, who pitched the game of his life last Tuesday in shutting out Baltimore on just 2 hits. The weather is hotter today. It's in the mid-80s, just a slight breeze. And so for Game 2, Sutton and Vida Blue. And what about the Dodgers in the locker room, out on the playing field, Ben? They seem a little shaken up after yesterday or not?
No, Kurt, I wouldn't think so. The modern-day ball player just isn't that way. This is not life or death. They walk around saying, there's no tomorrow. It's a day of destiny, and then they all fall down and start to laugh. So their approach to it is completely different. However, deep down inside, they look to Sutton as the leader. They look to Sutton to right the ship. He had won 9 straight at the end of the year. He won the 2 big games in the playoff. That's 11 in a row. And they're in the habit of seeing him win, seeing him stand on top of the heap, and they expect to see him there today. I would say they're loose, relaxed, and as reasonably confident as you can be, having lost a game already.
All right, now Vida Blue is starting for the Oakland A's. Tony Kubek talked to Vida Blue before the game, and let's go down in the field now and catch that taped interview. Vida Blue and Tony Kubek.
All right, Vida, which way are you going to hit today, right or left?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I just took some swings in the cage. I felt good. I even hit 2 out.
What about a scouting report on this Dodger team? They're a tough right-hitting team. Did you learn anything on the bench yesterday?
Well, I think that my game plan would be to stay away from them, and I'm not going to let the scouting reports just per se change my style of pitching. I'm going to go out and pitch a Vida Blue type of ball game and hope for the best. Hope we can get some runs early and hope that we can defend them and hold them for another 5 or 6 innings.
Was your fastball in Baltimore during the American League Championship Series the best you've had in a while?
I think it was the best that I've had, plus the fact that I had good control. One thing that really stands out in my mind about the whole ball game is that I only went to 3 and 2 on 1 batter, and I'm sure that during the regular season I might have averaged 3 to 4 walks per ball game. And I don't think it's that I'm not throwing as hard, but being behind the hitters all the time, you got to throw that good fastball right in there. And in this league, these guys will hit anything.
Did you stay up last night going over the Dodger hitters in bed?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I watched the Sting.
Oh, you watched the Sting. All right, is there a hitter in the Dodger lineup that, with men on base, you might prefer to pitch around?
Hey, with men on base, I wish I could pitch around everybody. I'm sure that the power guys in their lineups are, I think Garvey handles the ball good. Well, he hits the ball all over with power. And naturally, Wynn is a big power threat. Ferguson, Yeager, all those big guys. Well, I hope I don't get in a situation where I have to pitch around them. I just hope I can just go right at them, and it's, either me or you. So that's the way I like to pitch anyway.
Your game plan today is your bat and defense.
That's right, and we're going to go right at them.
Vida Blue, thank you. Let's go back upstairs.
Thank you, Tony.
Aside from the pitchers, the lineups remain the same. Steve Yeager was shaken up yesterday, Ben.
Yes, in his own words, and this is a modern expression, I guess, he said, I got my lunch. When Sal Bando knocked him, he hurt his left knee. There's fluid on the knee. It is puffed. However, there isn't a thing they can do about it. They couldn't drain it. He worked out, found the knee okay, and he'll be in the starting lineup, although he will be a little less effective than he was yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, I direct your attention to the Dodger dugout, where today's first ball ceremony will be performed in tandem, to be officiated over by the Commissioner of Baseball, Commissioner Boykiel. To participate in this event for the second game of the World Series, we have 2 former Dodger shortstops, and both are former Dodger captains. We are pleased to present Harold Pee Wee Reese and Maury Wills.
Pee Wee had hair a little longer than I've seen him sometime. He works for the Hilrick and Brasby Bat Company now. And Maury is, of course, on the NBC sports staff, works with us on baseball, and he is managing this winter in Mexico. I think he won his opening game. The old crisscross.
Let's have a fine game, ladies and gentlemen.
There they are. Two of the best in Dodger history. Commissioner Bowie Kuhn conducting the ceremonies. Yesterday it was Roy Campanella. Today, Maury Wills and Pee Wee Reese. Now it's Vida Blue for Oakland. Don Sutton for Los Angeles in Game 2. And the combined totals will show 18 strikeouts in 9 innings for 2 pennant-winning teams. Here are the Dodgers now coming out. Moving to left field will be Bill Buckner, Jim Wynn to center, Joe Ferguson to right, Ron Sayes at third, Bill Russell the shortstop, Dave Lopes at second, Garvey's the first baseman, Yeager is catching Don Sutton. And now to call the first part of this ball game and get you set up here for Game 2 of the World Series, the broadcaster of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Mr. Vin Scully.
Thank you, Kurt. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good day to you. The Dodgers waiting for their leader, Don Sutton. The umpires, Bill Kunkel will be the plate umpire, and for Bill Kunkel, I guess it would be a dream come true. He was a pitcher on the New York Yankee American League Championship team that came to Dodger Stadium in 1963. He never did get into the game, although Bill did get up once in the Yankee bullpen. That's as close as he got to a World Series. Well, today, he'll be behind the plate. Doug Harvey, in his second World Series, will be at first base. Don Denkinger of the American League in his first series at second. Andy Olson, who was on the foul line yesterday, in his first series, he'll be at third. And the foul line umpires, Ron Luciano down the left field line, and the veteran Tom Gorman, who was behind the plate yesterday, down the right field line.
You know, Vince, something interesting, an American League umpire is behind the plate. Supposedly, in the American League, the pitchers get the high strike. Vida Blue's fastball is a rising pitch. It's going to be interesting to see how he has strike calls today.
I talked to Bill Kunkel about that before the ball game, and naturally he would disprove the idea. Although there are those who claim it is the difference, A, in where the umpire positions himself. In the American League, the plate umpire works directly behind the catcher. In the National League, the plate umpire will work inside the hitter. In other words, with a right-hand batter, he'll be just off Yeager's left shoulder. With a left-hand batter, he'll be just off Yeager's right shoulder. And in talking about Yeager, the Dodgers come into this game a little weaker than yesterday. Steve was knocked flat by Sal Bando. His left knee is full of fluid. And if he has trouble coming up out of a crouch, that gives the Oakland running game a little bit better.
Number 19, shortstop.
We talked to Steve Yeager, Vin, and Kurt before the ball game and asked him to give us a capsule report on the pitcher, Don Sutton.
Well, Don Sutton, since the All-Star break, has been throwing of Don Sutton of the old. Don Sutton has got a fastball, curveball, slider. He's now developed a changeup. We gave Don Sutton 2 games in the playoffs. We said take control, and he did take control. He won 2 big games in the playoffs for us to finish up the season 19-9. I look for something big today in Don Sutton.
Campaneris, the first ball hitter, has done just that. He went after the first pitch and missed it, 0-1. Campy, a high fastball hitter, gets another breaking ball away, and they count 1-1. Campaneris does it all. He bunts and squeezes, and of course he squeezed in a run yesterday. They play hit and run with him, and he's a terror on the base paths. 1-1. Ball 2. Sutton with a fastball and a change. He has a curve and a slider, and he throws it a little different than most. He has almost a knuckle curve. 2-1 pitch. In there. Sutton finished up the year winning 9 straight. He won 2 in the playoffs. So he's won 11 in a row and 15 out of his last 16. He is not the nervous type. 2-2. Got him looking. This telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of the game without the express written consent of the Commissioner of Baseball is prohibited. So Campaneris is caught looking at the breaking ball. 1 away, and here is Bill North. North, the switch hitter. He is also a first ball hitter and likes to bunt. And he fouls it away.
Boy, was he moaning about that sun and those tears in back. He said he had real trouble picking up the ball off the bat yesterday.
There were a couple of great pictures of him talking to himself out there and shaking his head. Well, to North, all we can say is welcome to the club. 1-2, 1 out. No score. He'll pull up a chair and spend part of the day with us. Breaking ball, missed. Yeager looking for an angle, throws him out at first.
What a super curveball he has. Ben, I can recall the ball game he pitched against the Pirates that we televised. He seemed to start a lot of the big Pirate hitters off with curveballs or sliders to get ahead of them. Here's that snake dropping off the table. They're going to kill a few worms if he has that kind of curveball today.
If you had a baseball in your hand, I'll show you how he throws it. His index finger is fully extended around the ball. The middle finger, however, is up so that it's like his nail of the middle finger is in the ball.
A one-finger curve.
That's exactly what it is. High pop fly, back a third, down the line. Russell calling in foul ground. That'll do it. So the A's are gone in order. No score at the end of half an inning. Oakland nothing. The Dodgers coming up. Bottom of the first, no score. And hey, Kurt and Tony, I've been up to my hips in the National League this year. Tell me about Vida Blue besides all the numbers.
Primarily a fastball pitcher. He holds the ball across 4 seams or goes with the seams to make it act differently. Threw only 6 breaking pitches against the Baltimore Ball Club last Tuesday. Didn't walk a man. A power pitcher.
Surprising to Lopes. He started him with a knee-high fastball, and he's low now, 1-1. I understand that when he gets in trouble, he tries to finesse a hitter and take a little something off his curve. And Wes Stock said, I want him to throw a hard curve whenever he's going breaking ball. 1-2, a little smoke, Tony.
When they talk about Vida Blue holding the ball with the seams, that's the fastball that he will sail in on the fists of the right-handed hitter. He has 4 days rest, Ben. He threw just 101 pitches in that start in Baltimore, so he should be strong.
Broken bat, ground ball to first baseman Tennis, and that'll do it. Davey hit it off the end of the bat and cracked it. 1 away.
Batting second, number 22.
A lot of people say he's not as fast as he was in the sensational year he had in '72. He's just as fast, but surprisingly, he doesn't have as good as control. You think he'd have better control as he had another year or two of progress in the major leagues.
He'll be facing Bill Buckner, who does well against left-handers in the sense he doesn't give at the plate. He won't bail out. He had a couple of hits yesterday. Ball 1, breaking ball off the mitt of Ray Fosse. Buckner's a threat to bunt. There's Bill Kunkel. He's getting $8,500 for umpiring in the World Series. He started umpiring at the age of 12. He got 10 cents from 15 players from each team. He made $3 a game. He's come a long way.
That sounds like us when we started.
Fastball over. Nice, easy move, too.
Blue, like a lot of the Oakland A's pitchers, are good athletes. He's a good hitter, a speedy base runner. They use him as a pinch runner at times, and he fields his position well.
1-1. Breaking ball fouled away.
standout quarterback in high school, threw 35 touchdown passes his senior year. A lot of colleges were out after him. He had a choice to make, and he chose baseball.
Mr. and Mrs. Jack Haley Jr. and, of course, Liza Minnelli, just back from London. Half swing, fastball got him. And
Batting third, number 23, center fielder
Jimmy Wynn coming up with 2 down, no score, first inning.
Yesterday, let's take a look at that home run he hit late in the ball game against Fingers. High curveball. Raleigh was tiring a little bit at the time, and what a great try by North.
0-1. Jimmy, as we mentioned yesterday, rarely, if ever, goes the other way. He is a pull hitter, plain and simple. He had 1 extra base hit to right field against the Bucks, and it was a big one. I tell you, the surprise so far in watching Blue, he has not thrown a fastball above the belt, and all I heard about was that high fastball that really sailed.
You're right, he's been down.
1-2. There's a high fastball. First one up. Manager Billy Martin.
Yeah, look at that mustache. New hairdo. He's Hollywood.
Fastball high. They wouldn't bite at it. Wynn is remarkable. We mentioned all the hundreds he's been involved in. 100 RBIs, 100 walks, 100 runs scored, 100 strikeouts. He balances his books pretty well. 3-2. Outside.
And that's the first walk he's given up in the last 14 2/3 innings.
number 6.
They'll bring up Steve Garvey, and don't misinterpret Blue talking. He was not talking to the umpire. He was talking to Ray Fosse. Garvey, a fine hitter, and the one man yesterday who showed that he was a good hitter by going the other way. He's the one Dodger. If Blue keeps the ball outside, he will not just try to pull it. He had 2 base hits to right field yesterday. Wynn goes. Breaking ball is popped up back at first. Late start by Tennis. He could use a little help. Backs around and makes the catch. He was looking for a second baseman, Green, but Dick couldn't get there. He was covering. They're gone at the end of an inning. Magnificent aerial shot of Los Angeles County and the surrounding areas. As we go to the second inning, no score. Oakland and the Dodgers. It'll be Reggie Jackson, Joe Rudy, and Gene Tennis. Jackson, a superstar, and showed everybody why, going the other way yesterday to hit a home run into the left field bleachers.
They can't come up. There's a long drive to deep left, going and gone. Jackson is homered to the opposite field.
Good breaking ball, and Reggie went from the heel. 2-2.
There's Reggie on the breaking pitch. He had a good cut. He's the kind of hitter you cannot pitch just one way. He might hit the high fastball one time, but you might get him out with it the next time. He adjusts to the pitcher. Excuse me, Vince.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say, you noticed the American League umpire working right back of the catcher. Wrong field fly ball, and Buckner has to hurry to the foul line. Makes the catch. Buck took his eye off the ball because he is extremely conscious he does not have the foul territory that he did have during the regular season. He took one look to see where those auxiliary seats are.
And he had a long run because he was playing Jackson in left center field. But as you said yesterday, Vin, he has made some sensational catches all year long.
I was watching Jackson run. He was running well as he rounded first and headed to second.
One away, and here is Joe Rudy. He's another fellow who's labeled the first ball swinger. The toughest out, so most people feel. Hits the ball hard most of the time. 1-1.
Man that really helped him, Joe DiMaggio. Worked with him on his fielding when Joe was a coach of the A's and Rudy was coming on as a young player. Worked with him on his hitting. And DiMaggio said he was the best student on the A's ball club in wanting to learn and improving himself.
And there were his marks this year. Fouled at the plate, 1-2.
The man who helped him most with his hitting is the former pitching coach of the Kansas City Royals, released recently, Charlie Lau.
Steve Yeager now, you'll see him go into the crouch and give the sign. He might not be giving a sign with his fingers. Everybody feels catchers must give the signs like that. That's not true. There are some catchers who like exterior signs by touching their own body. Down goes Rudy. That's 3 strikeouts for Sutton. So 2 down, and Gene Tennis coming up. One other thing while we have the opportunity. During the course of the ball game, there's Lawrence Yogi Berra. You will see Sutton look in and get a sign, and then you will see him brush his uniform. But there are 2 areas on the uniform he might brush. Strike to Tennis. He brushes not only to change the pitch. There's another brush where he changes the location. 1-1. That's what makes this game so great. The more you find out about baseball, the more you laugh at people who think it's a slow-moving game. Fouled away. 1-2.
I think baseball has subtleties that no other sport has.
In fact, it can get so difficult. I remember years ago a Dodger pitcher who could not remember all the signs. And it got so simple that the catcher kept his feet together for the fastball and spread them for the curve, and that was it. So help me. 1-2. Has to keep him honest. 2-2. I was going to say he's a stiff back pitcher, and when he backs off the rubber with his left foot, one of the things he can't do is back up too much. See that little step? In the dirt. I don't know whether it hit the bat or not. There was no sign by Kunkel. If you are a stiff back pitcher like Sutton, in other words, you don't curl your leg. You know how a hitter can overstride? Well, a pitcher can throw himself completely out if he takes too much of a step backwards, and that's the first move he makes. Therefore, it's very important. He missed, took a lot off it, and missed high.
They talk about the importance of a pitcher driving off the rubber. That's what Sutton does so well. And I think also that front leg as he hits, if he keeps it too stiff, does he have a tendency to go wild high?
Yeah, they would like him, let's put it this way, to bend that leg a little, but keep it firm. And that, I guess, is the fulcrum principle, whereby you get a stiffness to challenge you, and that's how you push off and fight the hitter. Watch him come off the rubber.
You see the drive and how he opens the hips. There it is.
Good breaking ball. 1-1. Fosse figures to get a lot of breaking balls. There's the slider. That's the hard breaking ball. 1-2.
I'd have to say he's about ready to break off one of those curve balls down in the dirt. Ball and 2 strikes.
Yeager will not have all the maneuverability behind that plate, remember, because of that puffed up left knee. He was a question mark today. There it is in the dirt, and it got away. Down to second goes Tennis, and he'll hold there as Yeager limps after it.
Yeager has been so good in the games we've done, Ben, in blocking pitches. He got down in front of that one. He may have reached with his glove and bounced it back. He was in front of it as we look at it again. Right off the heel of his glove, it gets away from him.
2-2 to Ray Fosse. Down he goes. 4 strikeouts. They leave a man, no score at the end of an inning and a half. Oakland and the Dodgers. For the voice of the Oakland A's on NBC Radio with Jim Simpson.
You can't imagine Simpson hiding from a camera. There he is.
There, you see, now he knows.
He just heard we were on him.
Here's Joe Ferguson. High fly ball to left center field. Going back is North and Rudy, and it'll be North for the catch.
Slight breeze blowing out now to carry that ball.
We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Say has stock. He had 18. Well, there it is for you. 0-1. That looked like the pitch that gets West Stock angry, as if he was going to take too much off it and bend it. But if he's going to make a mistake, that's where to do it. Way far outside.
sometimes that breaking ball, just shown by a pitcher, which is all Vida Blue wants to do, can make the hitter think about that extra pitch, and that's all he wants, to try and make his fastball more effective.
2-0 to Ron Say. Well, he's keeping that fastball down. I'll be darned. All I heard about, there's Bill Russell on deck, with that rising fastball, and I think he's thrown it up once or twice. 3-0 to Say. The odds are very much against him being allowed to swing 3-0. 4-4.
With Ron Say on first and 1 out, Dodger third base coach Tom Lasorda flashes a set of signs to Bill Russell. The hit and run is on.
Don't help him out now, Bill. Let him be a strike. Got a good pitch, Billy. Don't help him out now.
There he goes. Little pop fly. Back of first, down the line. Tennyson, Jackson. It's a base hit. And the third is saved.
And Ron Say read the play right. He knew where those outfielders were. He kept right on going. Used excellent judgment. He may also have gotten a decoy along the way as he did not pick up the ball. You saw it by Green. Now he picked up Tommy Lasorda. You said it yesterday, Ben. The Dodgers are going to try and take advantage of the throwing arm of the A's.
There he goes. There goes the runner. There's a fly ball. Come on, Penguin. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hold up. Hold up, Penguin. Hold up. Boy, Billy. I knew that ball was going to fall in. That's why I kept calling you over. There was no way Tennis could catch that ball. That's the way to hustle, Penguin. Nice job. I got first and third and 1 out. Ground ball, you go. Line drives and fly balls come back and tag up. Assume that every pitch is going to be a wild pitch, so you'll be going forward. Attaboy, Billy. Hey, yay. Yay.
Now a sore-legged catcher comes up with 1 out. Runners at first and third. Lasorda doing cheerleading, telling Yeager to get your pitch. One hopper into left center, base hit. Say scores. Russell to second. 1-0 Dodgers.
Steve Yeager's single gives the Dodgers an early 1-0 advantage.
What a shot! That's when Yeager's tough, when he hits the ball up through the middle. Attaboy, Stevie!
So the Dodgers get the jump on the A's. The local citizenry happy, and Charles Finley as downcast as you could be this early in the afternoon. Don Sutton is a reasonably good hitting pitcher. More important, he usually makes contact. And before he came up, Alston talked to him. He is not a lead pipe cinch to just bunt. In fact, again, based on past performances, Alston might have said to him, I'll let you take 1 shot to right field. No, we'll see. 2 on, 1 out. He took the shot. The breaking ball is a strike. 1-2. There's that belated swing, only he came up empty this time. 2 down as Vida Blue picks up his second strikeout. And Davy Lopes will be coming up. This will be a battle of temptation. They're telling the Dodger hitters to lay off the high Vida Blue fastball. Lopes loves the high fastball. Ball 1.
Didn't he have a 3-home run game in Wrigley Field?
Right, in Chicago. And he stole 4 bases, and he was trying to go for the record, and that's when he hurt his ankle. 1 ball, no strikes. Strike. 1-1. Soft curve fouled away. 1-2. Got him. A run, 2 hits, 2 left. And at the end of 2, the Dodgers won, and the Oakland A's nothing.
Vida Blue bears down for consecutive strikeouts of Don Sutton and then Davy Lopes. to cut the rally off at a single run.
Here's Dick Green to start it off, followed by Vida Blue, and then top of the order, Bert Campaneris. Ball one. Fastball and a high pop fly to the right side. Lopes calling. Backed up by Ferguson. One away. The Dodgers have started off somewhat as they did yesterday. They've left 3 men in 2 innings. Oakland getting the maximum out of the minimum. And here comes Vida Blue.
Then I asked Wes Stock, the A's pitching coach, about special hitting practice. He said no, all year the pitchers have 20 minutes batting practice and that's it. So they didn't tune up for any World Series by trying to come on strong in the last 2 weeks, but the pitchers taking special batting practice.
He hit 2 off-game home runs today in batting practice. He hit 1 in the Dodger bullpen and another in the left field seats. Strike. Breaking ball. Half swing, strike 3. So Sutton is on a strikeout tear now. He has 5 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings. When you look at his strikeout totals and average for the year, they are very misleading. So they'll come up with the fact that his strikeouts are about 5 a game. But you have to remember, he made 14 starts without picking up a win. And you subtract those games, and he's capable of striking out a lot more.
Look at that gap out in right center for Campaneris. Big hole in right center.
Line drive down the left field line, base hit. Over to get it is Buckner. Campy on his way for 2. He's in there easily. The throw will come into Russell. Behind to Campaneris, Sutton challenged him. He's a high fastball hitter, and it looked like he got a pitch up that he drilled. Watch. Wham.
He is a good, quick starter. As you can see, he knows how to cut the bases, cut down that distance.
So Campaneris, a line drive double to left. Bill North will be the batter. North struck out in the first inning. They have to bring Say up. He's a threat to dump or drag. Strike. Strike 1 pitch is a high chopper hit slowly to Russell. He has to hurry to get North. Got him. Good play by Russell. No runs, a hit, a man left at second at the end of 2.5, 1-0 Dodgers. We'll take a look at the pressure on Bill Russell, and what helped him was that bounce. He caught it at the belt. Any lower bounce than that, he never gets North. Right, shortstop, Tony?
Right. You know, Vin, that little bit of a sore elbow he's had may be a blessing in disguise, because I think he is learning to get rid of the ball more quickly.
Here's Bill Buckner now. He'll start it off with Jimmy Wynn and Steve Garvey to follow. Ball 1. North put tremendous pressure on any infield. He has been timed going down to first at 3.9, and that's outstanding. 1-1. Slow curve, hit to straightaway center. North is there. Wow, playing that sideways.
He really did, didn't he?
Sun glaring directly in his eyes, and he has become a very good outfielder. Another mistake, I think, in a scouting report saying he is not. He played it looking away from the sun. That's important, I think, with his high park, Denny, that you do not put those glasses down too soon before the ball gets over the top of the stands.
The only thing that surprised me was he did not use his glove as a shade, and that's really doing it the hard way. Fouled away. Jimmy Wynn. So Buckner flies to center. Jimmy Wynn walked in the first inning, so he's not been up officially.
A lot of people wonder where he gets his power. Watch how far back the bat is set, and he swings on through and builds up velocity.
On the corner, strike 2. Even the Dodgers, although they had seen him, and that's Garvey on deck, absolutely marveled at the velocity of Wynn's swing. The bat is a blur. 1-2. I mean, you can't be 5'9" and 170 and hit as many as far as he does without some kind of magic. And it's the velocity.
Wynn swings and drives deep into left field. Look at this one go, everybody. Up to the scoreboard. It's over the scoreboard, bouncing up onto the freeway. I can see it up there where those automobiles are going. Look at that drive. You talk about a tape measure shot. That has got to be the longest home run I have ever seen hit in Crosley Field, or hit out of it.
Fouled away. That sounded like it got a little kunkel, too. Sounded like it hit a bass drum. We'll take a look.
There you see what Vin talked about a while ago, that American League umpire directly over the head of the catcher. He got jolted pretty good. Look at the swing and the follow-through by Jimmy Wynn. He had what might have been the closest pitch he's had in the series to pull.
Took a little tiny bit of Ray Fosse, and then Kunkel got it smack in the middle. 2-2. Ball 3.
He's already thrown over 50 pitches in this game. We're in just the third inning. I wonder how long he's going to hold his stuff.
I would say he's going to make 130, and from there on in, he's in borrowed time. Strike 3 called. Wynn couldn't believe it. So that's 4 strikeouts for Vida.
Steve Garvey, first base.
Breaking ball, pulled to the hole, backhanded by Campaneris, sets for the throw, and it's too late, and Tennis unable to hold on to it anyway. But he had the play beaten.
I believe Campaneris thought he had more time, and he really did for Garvey. Look at him take his time now. He has a strong, usually accurate arm, and look at the stretch by Tennis, but he could not come up with it.
Here's another shot of the same play from a different angle.
They played Garvey up the middle, so he had a long way to go into the hole on a very long throw.
And it goes to the base hit. So a 2-out infield single for Garvey brings up Joe Ferguson. He flied to Bill North in the second inning. Fergie 0 for 1. As he said, he made the throw of his life yesterday to get Bando. High fly ball into right center field. Jackson is there, and Reggie puts it away. No runs ahead, a man left, and at the end of 3. The score, the Dodgers 1, the A's nothing. Let's take a look at the A's now in the 4th inning with the Dodgers leading 1-0. Sal Bando, Reggie Jackson, and Joe Rudy. Breaking ball popped up on the left side. Russell back a Say, but Say calling. 1 down in the 4th, and Reggie Jackson coming up.
Reggie Jackson.
Ball 1. Slider on the corner. 1-1. One and 2 to Reggie Jackson. 2-2. Missed again with that breaking ball down around his left foot. Oh, he changed and turned it over. Ball 4. So 1-out walk to Jackson.
Rudy.
And the batter, Joe Rudy, who struck out in the second inning. For Don Sutton, that would be his second walk. High fly ball into shallow left. Buckner in, and he'll call. 1 or 2 hands, Bill. 2. Two down. And Gene Tennis, the ball coming up. Tennis, good fastball hitter. Jackson at first. 1-0 Dodgers in the 4th.
I gave him that fastball yesterday, and he hit it in the left field.
Breaking ball, a hard slider popped up. Say and Russell, and it's Say. No runs, no hits, a man left at the end of 3.5. Dodgers 1, Oakland nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning, Dodgers 1, Oakland nothing. Oakland no runs, 1 hit. They've left 3. The Dodgers 1 run, 3 hits. They've left 4. And it'll be Say, Russell, and Yeager. Chopper to short. Campaneris fielding the high hopper and got him. Good play by Campy.
He has a strong throwing arm for a little man.
Russell.
Plenty on the ball.
He did wait on the ball, to use the baseball expression, ungrammatical as it might be. But if he had charged that, it could easily have tied him up or gone over his head. And as you said, with the strong arm, he can afford to play the waiting game. Russell fisted one on a 3-2 pitch and blooped it to right field to set up a run. Ball 1. That's when Say went to third on the pop fly single. 1-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the fourth. 1 out. Vida Blue and Don Sutton. Fastball hit to right field. Fading on the ball is Reggie. 2 down. Dark talking to Wes Stott.
Steve Yeager.
And here comes Steve Yeager. Yeager has the key hit of the game to drive in the only run in the second inning. This is what it looked like. Up the middle, Campy couldn't flag it. North had to come over and say scored. And that's all. It's 1-0 Dodgers, 2 out in the fourth. Ernest Borgnine taken in the ball game. Pulled on the ground to Bando. Backs up, sets, and nails him on that bad leg. Not too much of an effort. They're gone in the fourth. And at the end of 4, 1-0 Dodgers. And now a message furnished by Major League Baseball. For the first time, this year's official World Series program is being offered by mail to fans and collectors for $2.50. This spectacular full-color book contains many feature articles and photographs, including the Hank Aaron story, the history of the World Series, and features stories and photographs of all the players of the 4 divisional winners. Of special interest will be color pictures of both the National and American League All-Star teams. Each picture, 8.5 by 11, suitable for framing, and we suggest you act now. Send a check or money order for $250 to Major League Baseball, Post Office Box 666, San Francisco, California, 94101, the zip code.
Lots of speculation. Hank Aaron might wind up in Milwaukee as a designated batter next year.
Wouldn't that be something? Go back to the scene of so many of his triumphs. Here's Ray Fosse. He'll be followed by Dick Green and Vida Blue. Sutton to work. Missed ball 1. Dodger run in the second inning. A walk to Say, a bloop single to right, and a base hit up the middle by Yeager. Oakland with 1 hit, a line drive double to left by Bert Campaneris. Over, 1-1. Breaking ball grounded to third. Boy, he had a fight, it did Say, but his throw is on the money. Boy, a third baseman backing up here, you don't know what's going to happen. Watch Say stay with it.
It is not the suggested way to go after a ground ball. To give ground, he caught that right off the little finger of his glove. But on this fast infield and with the ball the way it bounds once it comes off that grass, you've got to stay with it. Knock it down. You have the time to do it at third base, especially with a catcher running.
What was so difficult for a young Dodger infield 2 years ago, most of them were converted from other positions, and wouldn't you know they had a sinker ball staff. And those ground balls just ate them up. Here's Dick Green. Popped it foul, back of the plate, out of play. Yeager coming back, but it's in the seats. 2-2. 1 away in the 5th inning, 1-0 Dodgers. The only run came back in the second inning. Blue might have got tired standing in the on-deck circle, but actually they just called him over to talk to him for a second. Breaking ball just missed. There's the chairman of the board, Mr. Walter Francis O'Malley, who just celebrated his 71st birthday the other day. When the Dodgers played Pittsburgh, everybody said the final score would be 7-1 in honor of his birthday. At one time it was, but the final was 12-1.
Still a nice birthday present, clinching a pennant.
Got him. So Don Sutton has picked up his 6th strikeout.
Blue.
And he's doing it primarily with breaking balls. And here's Vida Blue. Strike 3 called. Oh, that's 7 strikeouts. And at the end of 4.5, Dodgers 1, Oakland nothing. Well, we've got 4.5 innings in the books, and actually no surprises. It's a pitching duel. Don Sutton and Vida Blue. Sutton leading 1-0 thanks to a base hit by a gimpy-legged catcher. No surprises at your end either, right, Kurt?
Right, Ben. And look at Mr. Kubek. Say something, and oh, no mic.
Tell how much you guys are letting me talk.
Well, let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning. A more familiar voice to all you folks at NBC, the voice of Kurt Gowdy.
Thank you, Ben Scully. Don Sutton getting a hand from the Hometown Dodger fans, continuing in the World Series where he left off in the latter part of the regular season and the playoffs. He struck out his first time. Vida Blue had his best inning in the fourth, put him down 1-2-3, and he's in with a strike. Blue has struck out 4. Ground ball to the right side. Easy play for Dick Green, 1 down. That's 5 in a row now Blue has set down. Top of the order we go, and Dave Lopes has grounded out and struck out. Not much action in this game so far. Been very quiet. The Dodgers have 1 run, 3 hits. The A's, no runs, 1 hit. The Red Sox were his favorite team as a youngster. So he's out in Los Angeles. He pops it up to the right side. Tennis looking up in the sun. Ooh, he had troubles on that one. 2 down.
That almost took Tennis right down to his knees. I'm surprised that he did not give way to Dick Green, who was looking away from the sun. But he battled it all by himself. And there you see, Ben, as you mentioned before, North did not shade his eyes with the glove. Tennis did use that added advantage.
It's a high sky today, not a cloud in the sky. And a glaring bright sun here at Dodger Stadium. Temperature in the 80s. 2 down. Nobody on. The Dodgers batting in the last of the 5th. They're leading 1-0. There's a line drive right at Joe Rudy. And another 1-2-3 inning. For Blue, at the end of 5, it is 1-0 Los Angeles. Now we're in the 6th inning, and it's the top of the Oakland batting order. Campaneris, North, and Bando. Don Sutton missing with a breaking pitch. Sutton has 7 strikeouts. And he's facing the man that has the only hit off him. Campaneris doubled down the left field line in the 3rd inning. A ball, 2-0. 2 walks by Sutton. Sutton now is throwing more pitches in the game than Blue. He's delivered 83 pitches, Blue 74.
You might notice that Sutton is now beginning to take more time between pitches to try and get refreshed.
That ball is slapped foul just outside the bag at 3rd. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, nobody out. Oh, he has something on that one to record his 8th strikeout.
Then is there some telltale sign that you can think of that might indicate Sutton is tiring? Does he drop his arm down? Does he stand straighter up?
I think the biggest thing would be he would overstride and try to force himself, to get the ball over. I don't think he's tired yet, but I did mention earlier it's hot, and he would much rather pitch in cool weather.
Bill North up, 1 out, nobody on. The Dodgers ahead 1-0. Say in tight at 3rd. And North crowded on that pitch, gets around. He's out. He's having trouble with Dodger pitching. He hasn't had the ball out of the infield. 2 down, nobody on, and Bando has fouled out and popped up. Final
it's amazing.
Pardon me, go ahead.
I was just going to say what goes through people's mind. You think about Sutton trying to conserve energy, yet he came up to hit in the 5th inning and hit the first ball. That got him out of the way, but then the next 2 come up and hit the first ball, so he doesn't get any rest at all.
Sal Bando batting number 3 in the A's order. Waller Matthau. He's a great baseball fan. Charlie Berry. What'd you do with the money? 2-1 pitch. There's a drive out to left fielder Bill Buckner right there for it. He's got it. 3 up, 3 down. And at the end of 5.5, it's still the Dodgers 1 and the A's nothing. We move on to Oakland Tuesday night, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Time with a baseball world of Joe Garagiola. And then the Oakland A's and Dodgers will pick up for Game 3. Catfish Hunter going for Oakland. Al Downing, the left-hander for the Dodgers. Tuesday night from the Oakland Coliseum. Vida Blue now faces Jim Wynn, Steve Garvey.
That's Vincent Price. Among other things, he has a great recipe book. He's quite a gourmet.
No blood today. Walked and struck out. Wynn looked at that fastball in the corner for a strike. Blues allowed 3 hits. He's put down 7 in a row and is fouled out of play. 0-2. Cincinnati Bengals beat Cleveland 34-24. They've lost only 1 game this year. Buffalo down Baltimore 27-14. They're now 4 wins and 1 loss. And so are the Eagles, who defeated the Giants 35-7. Wynn is gone, and Blue now is getting better as the ball game moves along.
He is not only throwing strikes, he is starting to spot the ball. You could see the target given by Ray Fosse on the last pitch to come in, and he came in with it.
5 strikeouts for Vida Blue, Mansfield, Louisiana.
He will throw during the course of a ball game 90% strikes, or rather fastballs. Jackson getting the glasses in right now.
What a year it's, pardon me, Tony, what a year it's been for Steve Garvey. Now it's Jackson's shoelace needs fixing.
He also lost his glove as he started running out to right field, and the fans got at him a little.
And there goes that frisbee. Oh, time will be out again. That's the second frisbee in this series.
And we'll get a chance to see Reggie Jackson, and if he can throw a frisbee as far as he can throw a baseball.
I'll never forget that dog out here. That's the most incredible sight I've ever seen. Garvey, a right-in, became the first baseman in the All-Star game, voted the most valuable player of the All-Star game. He's grounded out and single. He sends a bounder up the middle. Campaneris over with it and safe for Garvey at first. Quite a play by Campaneris, as you saw, going away with a off-balance throw.
Good idea of how much range Campy has. That high bounder over the pitcher's head. Garvey's been working him out there. He hit a ball to his right one time, this time to his left.
Steve Garvey legs out a bouncer up the middle in the bottom of the 6th.
So, Ferguson.
Come on, Joey! Let him be your pitcher. Let him have it, Joey! Ferguson's due to hit one good. Come on, Joey! Get a hold of one like you can. Get that ball down, Vida.
Ferguson's flying out twice. Once to center and once to right. And Blue threw him a high change.
Oh-ho! High changeup. Looking at the skip. There's nothing on. No hit and run or anything. Get a good pitch now, Joey!
There's a flash. Boy, that ball's hit. Way back. Gone!
Few pitches that Ferguson, as we watch on the replay, North going back, the glasses down immediately, back to the track. The pitch was high and tight. No chance for a play for Billy. Here he is from another angle. You can see the glare of the sun off his glasses, something these Oakland A's players have battled the last couple of days.
Oh, get on it! Get on, ball! Get gone! Oh, yeah! It's a home run! I told you! Oh, yeah! There it is! Oh, Fergie! I knew he was due! Oh, yeah! I called that shot, Joey! I called it! Oh, yeah! What a shot! What a blast!
over the plate. Ferguson's pitch that he wanted, and he blasted it to deep straightaway center. The Dodgers lead 3-0.
You know, it shows you just how good the hitters are and how great the pitchers have to be. There's Johnny Odom loosening up. If he made a perfect pitch to Ferguson the pitch before, and then came back and just got it up a little bit, and it meant a couple of runs and a couple of frisbees.
So with 1 out, nobody on, 2 runs in. The Dodgers with a 3-run lead send up Ron Say. He pops it up. Dennis puts it away, 2 down. Bill Russell has singled and flied out. Russell sends a fly ball out to Joe Rudy. Rudy has it, but the Dodgers came up with 2 runs, 2 hits. They lead now at the end of 6, 3-0. If we have the 7th game of the World Series next Sunday, it'll be a football, baseball doubleheader beginning 1 o'clock with NFL football. You'll see either Baltimore against the Jets, Cleveland against Pittsburgh, New England and Buffalo, followed by World Series Game 7 with the baseball world of Joe Garagiola. If the World Series is over, at 1 o'clock Eastern time, it'll be Baltimore and the Jets, Cleveland and Pittsburgh, New England and Buffalo. At 4 o'clock, San Diego against Denver, Kansas City against Miami, Cincinnati versus Oakland. Check your local listings for the NFL games in your area. 7th inning, Reggie Jackson, Joe Rudy, Gene Tennis up. The A's have been checked on just 1 hit. Campaneris' double in the 3rd. Don Sutton has struck out 8. He's allowed now just 1 run in his last 3 games. That was a home run by Willie Stargell in the playoffs. In the clincher, Sutton shut out the Pirates, came back to give him just 1 run. He's now allowed 1 run in his last 30 innings. That's how brilliantly he's been pitching. Jackson with a count 1-1. Most of the A's picked this to be a 7-game World Series.
I think it's the most evenly matched series in quite a while.
Jackson, a line shot in the center for a base hit to lead off the 7th. Yeah, they're really well-balanced clubs, Ben. They have some speed, they have some power, they have good pitching. Well-balanced team. Well, that's why they're the National League and American League champs. That's why
I might add another thing about Sutton. He's completed 10 out of 40 this year. But again, if you throw out that 2-month period, his ratio of starts and complete, exceptionally good. But you can bet with Marshall in the bullpen, they're going to watch him very carefully.
Joe Rudy has struck out and flied to left. Jackson at first, nobody out. And we're getting some stirring around in the Dodger bullpen. That's a strike to Rudy.
Mike Marshall with a blue jacket on, towel over his shoulder. Was he unbuttoning?
They had just taken the tarp off the warm-up mound.
And we have action in the Oakland bullpen.
Glenn Abbott is 1 of 2 down there.
Double play ball to short. 1. Over they go. Just missed it. Ball was hit slowly to shortstop.
Reggie running pretty well. He came in hard on Davy Lopes. Russell taking a lot of time, waiting back for the big hop. Look at Reggie go after Lopes, who took a lot of time on the pivot. Here's Bill on our low center field camera. Sometimes you get that in-between hop on this infield where the ball bounds up, and Bill elected to wait and get the sure one at second base.
I think they were surprised that Jackson got down there as quickly as he did.
Gene Tennis has walked and fouled out. That's back to the box. Lopes on over. There it is. Pitcher, the second to first for the double play. No runs, a hit, nobody left. At the end of 6 1/2. We're going to the last of the seventh now. They've had the seventh inning stretch at Dodger Stadium. An all-time record again, 55,989. There's a ground ball up the middle. Yeager's on. The lead off the last of the seventh. Second hit for Yeager. Don Sutton will get a tremendous hand as he comes up. Here he is. Listen to him. A standing ovation. Game winning streak coming into the series. 15 wins in his last 16 decisions, and so far he has a 2-hit shutout today. Sutton is struck out, grounded out, looking for the bunt. He dumps it. Vida Blue picks it up, throws to Dick Green, covering it first. But Sutton can't do anything wrong.
And it had to be a good bunt because Yeager, who's had that leg problem, as we mentioned to you, cannot run well. And Don had to get into a perfect position with the two men charging at the corners.
Well, he'll get his jacket on and be ready to come out for the eighth.
I was just thinking it will take either an extra base hit or 2 hits to get Yeager home.
Yeager at second. If you just joined us, he hurt his knee yesterday. It's puffed up on him, his left knee. Top of the order now. Lopes is grounded out, struck out, popped up. He hasn't had the ball out of the infield. Sends that one down the right field line, twisting toward the seats, but wait a minute.
He can't see it.
Just missed it.
He had no idea where that ball was.
Reggie lost it in the sun, Vin.
And you know, Bill Buckner was saying how bad it can get here. Watch him. He's looking desperately. He has no idea where it is. Buckner said the other day he ran to the left field foul line on a fly ball that was hit to right. And he did that because he said the way the hitter swung, I just assumed he was pulling the ball.
Well, your ball players, the sun gives them trouble. They don't play many day games here.
That's right.
Charlie Finley, trying to win his 3rd world title in a row. That's his daughter, Kathy, former beauty queen of the University of Colorado. 3-2 delivery. There's a high drive, deep left center. North ranging back, up with it. He's got it. The tag at second. And Yeager, with a bad knee, comes on the 3rd.
I'll tell you what, it's not that bad. I think he surprised a lot of people, including himself, and Lasorda shakes his hand. He got over there. You'd never think he hurt his knee.
Bill Buckner, the left fielder, up. Walter Alston, only 4 managers have ever won more pennants than Alston, and only 3 more world championships. And only 2 men, Connie Mack and John McGraw, managed one club longer than Alston. Walter's 21st year. Connie Mack had a little advantage on him. He owned the team.
Now let's keep our eye on that runner on 3rd base. Buckner will bunt on occasion.
And he hits a ground ball to Dick Green. Up with it. The Dodgers are gone in the 7th. No runs and a hit at the end of 7. 3-0 Los Angeles. Alvin Dark's going to make his moves now in the 8th inning with his club 3 runs down. Jesus Alou is batting for Ray Fosse. Claudell Washington is on deck to bat for Dick Green. Alou always looks like he slept on a bad mattress and a hard pillow. Twisting, stretching. Neck always looks like he has a trick in it.
There's a great line for a fidgety player. It's not mine. It says he is so fidgety he would make coffee nervous.
Well, that's Alou. Don Sutton, a disc jockey in the off season. Have you heard him, Vin?
Yes, he's very glib. Very good.
Country and Western music, I think. Bad pitch. He goes for bad pitches. Lose out. 9 strikeouts for Don Sutton. Here's Claudell Washington, and here is a player of the future for the A's, just 20 years old, from Berkeley, California, a part-time scout. Saw him play in the Sandlots and signed him. Oh, wait a minute, they're switching.
Jim Holt.
Jim Holt comes out. Washington is stay on deck and bat for Vida Blue. Jim Holt. There's a ground ball in the right field for a base hit. Third hit for the A's in this game. Holt's at first, one out, and we're going to have a runner.
Dal Maxwell will be going into the ball game for defensive purposes also. If you look at Walter Alston, Maxie's going to pinch run.
Number 16, Dal Maxwell.
Now Alston is yelling something out.
For the A's.
They're announcing the pinch hitter Claudel Washington for Vida Blue.
Number 50, Claudel Washington.
There's a base hit by Washington in the right field. And the A's now have runners on first and second. Back-to-back single by two pinch hitters. And here's Walter Alston coming out of the Dodger dugout. And for the first time, we get the A's pennants waving.
If there is just a flaw in Sutton's delivery, Red Adams, the pitching coach, goes out. When Alston goes out to visit a pitcher, the odds are very high that he's bringing a hook with him. However, in Sutton's case, he'll go directly to him to see if he still has it left.
Here's where you need the honest answer. And evidently, he's convinced Alston he's all right. Yeager has something to say also there in the conference. Bert Campaneris now at the top of the A's batting order has struck out, doubled, and struck out.
Walter Alston also reminding his infielders out there, listen, we've got a 3-run lead. Get one sure out. Don't hurry a double play attempt too much for fear of throwing the ball away.
There's a ground ball to Russell. Bobbles the ball. Everybody's safe. Worried about getting that force at second. Couldn't handle it. And now the A's have the big threat. The bases loaded. One out.
Bill, having to range to his right, could not play a certain hop, and you can see that he got one in between off the heel of his glove. He tried to trap it against his body and get that one sure out. It was not an easy play, but an error is given to him.
The batter is Bill North. He is struck out, grounded out twice. Washington at second. Campaneris at first. It's ball one to Bill North with Sal Bando on deck. That's chopped foul. A ball and a strike to Bill North. High for ball two to North. He fouls it back. North fouls it off. He had a funny swing in that pitch. And they want an appeal at third, but it's ball 3, 3-2. A nasty breaking pitch by Sutton that time. Yeager thought that North had committed himself. They appealed to the third base umpire. Andy Olsey said no. 3-2, bases loaded, one down. There's a ground ball to short. That's one. Into the dirt for two. Garvey came up with it as North wrapped into the double play. No runs, 2 hits, there was 1 error, and 2 left. At the end of 7.5, 3-0, Los Angeles.
Sutton protects his 3-0 lead into the 8th. When the A's mount their first serious threat with the bases loaded, 1 out, and Bill North at the plate. Russell makes the force himself. Fires to Garvey. Double play. The replay shows a difficult pickup by first baseman Steve Garvey to complete the twin killing. Garvey's defensive gem keeps 2 runs from scoring and earns him heartfelt thank yous from Bill Russell and Don Sutton.
We'll look at that last double play and a sensational stab by Garvey at first base on a rerun. A little mix-up temporarily as Russell thought he might shuffle the ball in the lopes. And what a play by Garvey, which could save this ball game for the Dodgers.
Bill North started out to center field. They called him back. Claudel Washington is now the center fielder. Dal Maxwell's at second base. The new pitcher is John Blue Moon Odom, who twisted his ankle in a fight with Raleigh Fingers the day before the series started. Evidently, he's come up with a speedy recovery. He's in here to pitch the last of the 8th inning.
Larry Haney, the new catcher.
And Haney, the new catcher.
One of the things, by taking North out of the game, you put the pitcher in the spot that made the last out, so you get him out of the way. That gives you an extra bat in the lineup without having to go to the bench. So in North's spot, you can put Odom.
Maxville's going to bat 8.
Number 12, batting 7th.
Haney will bat 7th.
And pitching, number 13, John Blue Moon Odom.
And Odom bats in North's spot, the number 2 spot, in the top of the 8th inning. John Odom, his 5th World Series game. No wins, 1 losses in the series. This year he won 1 and lost 5. Just 2 years ago, he was a key man down the stretch for Oakland. He's not the pitcher he was. He's had flashes this year. The strike to Jim Wynn, who was walked and struck out twice.
Odom will give you a lot of motion. Has a slow curveball overhand to use on left-hand hitters. A good slider when he has control of it. And his fastball sinks.
Wynn, Garvey, and Ferguson for the Dodgers in the last of the 8th. A 1-1 count. Vida Blue worked 7 innings. Gave up 6 hits. 3 runs. Walked 2. Struck out 5. Sutton was just a bit better. And the big blow was a 2-run homer by Joe Ferguson in the 6th.
Take a look at John Odom in slow motion. The follow-through, the shoulder, head motion. He has a good slow curveball if he can control it, and you can see how you'd be way ahead with that flying motion.
And he's got him. Jim Wynn is out. Thing about him, though, Vin, he gets off the mound very well. They use him as a pinch runner. He's a good athlete. But you're right. He's falling over toward first.
Look at that last pitch again. Yes, Jim, if you'd made contact, you would have hit it out.
Well, Garvey's been quite a player so far in this still young World Series. 2 hits yesterday, 2 hits today. Dug the ball out of the dirt on the double play, ending the top of the 8th inning. He saved a lot of errors in this Dodger infield this year with his pickups at first. Had a shoulder separation. I guess it's bothered his throwing, hasn't it?
Yes, it sure has. When he was at Michigan State, he was a defensive halfback, and he would be assigned the star. In other words, he got Leroy Keys, he got O.J. Simpson. Whoever the big man was, it was his responsibility.
1-1. I'd send him to the bank for me.
Yes.
Joe Ferguson on deck. 3-0 Los Angeles, last of the 8th inning. A strike. He received a big bonus, but he says one of the biggest bonuses he had from Charlie Finley when Charlie drove into his backyard down in Georgia and dumped a load of produce in the yard, all kinds of fruits and vegetables. There's a master salesman, that man, a very persuasive gentleman, great insurance salesman. Lying in a tuberculosis hospital years ago. Conceived the idea when the doctor came in, what if something, there was a strikeout by Garvey, if something happened to him, what would he do financially? He came up with a medical insurance plan for doctors all over America. That's where he made his fortune.
Right now, the hitters and Steve Garvey, you just saw swing at that last pitch, and also Jimmy Wynn before, are having difficulty picking the ball up, and that is a definite advantage for the Dodgers.
Number 13 against number 13. Odom wears 13 in his back, and you can see the number 13 on Ferguson's back. Ferguson got a hand. He hit a long fly to center, a fly to right, and then a 2-run homer over the center field wall. Dodgers 3. The A's nothing, last of the 8th. Odom's pitch. A little bit low, 1-1.
I'm amazed he throws as many strikes as he does, because in the middle of his windup, His head goes below his left shoulder. He doesn't see home plate at all. He plays a little peekaboo with the hitter, but he gets the ball over. His head goes right under the shoulder, like that.
And him waving, 1 and 2. If you're looking ahead to the A's ninth, they'll have Bando, Jackson, and Rudy, the heart of their batting order, up. They've got quite a side story going on in the A's right now concerning Jim Hunter. That pitch is outside. Commissioner Bowie Kuhn said today he'd received letters from the Major League Players Association and from Jim Hunter's attorney contending that the Oakland club had not lived up to its contractual obligations to Hunter and therefore requested that Hunter be given his unconditional release. Now, there was another story we read in the paper today where Finley had met with Hunter and offered him his money, and Hunter had turned it down for some reason. And Lee McPhail, the American League president, was there as a witness. The commissioner replied that there does appear to be a bona fide dispute between the two parties. It will be settled after the World Series. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 to Joe Ferguson. 2 down.
Hunter's attorney also said that there had been one Major League club, he would not name it, has contacted Catfish Hunter and would like to sign him.
Probably the Dodgers.
Would you take him?
Sure.
They start Tuesday.
No, they'd send him to the beach Tuesday.
There he is. If I had one game to win, I think, and I had to pick one man, it might be him. 25-game winner at his best in the pressure games. 2 down. Ferguson at first. Ron Say up. Runner going. Strike. Throw. He's in there. Stolen base to Joe Ferguson.
Ball got stuck in the glove of Larry Haney. We might be able to see it. Appears to be using that hinged, bigger glove, almost the kind you would use for a Charlie Huff knuckleball. I think he delayed the steal, too, a little bit. It was not a straight-out steal, which may have deceived them.
I also have a feeling he might have seen a sign that wasn't there. 3-1.
Now the 3-2 delivery to Ron Say. He hits a high fly in the left field. Joe Rudy comes on, circles under it, has it. Got problems. No runs. No hits, 1 left. We're going to the 9th, 3-0 Los Angeles.
I don't use these when I'm behind the plate. But when I'm driving home, I get hit with just as much glare as the other guy. And nothing really cuts it any better than polarized Foster Grants. But let's be honest, I like the way they look, too. When a guy wears a mask to work every day, he kind of likes to look the best he can in his time off.
Polarized Foster Grants. The looks, the lens. We've got it all.
Hi, I'm Don Sutton of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Did you know that baseball has a college scholarship plan? That baseball has helped put hundreds of young athletes through college? Well, I'm one of those lucky ones. I have just 3 semesters to go before I obtain my degree at Whittier College, and I did it all while playing baseball. You too can get a baseball scholarship if you have the ability to play baseball and a desire for a college education. Believe me, baseball is a great career.
Well, it's fitting that we had Don Sutton speaking for Major League Baseball because he's out here in the 9th inning now trying to nail down Game 2 for the Dodgers and also grab himself a World Series shutout. And he's facing Bando, Jackson, and Rudy.
Sal Bando.
Don Sutton's first World Series game.
Don is very cute, and I use the word advisedly in his stretch. He has experimented with just how much he can get away with. And after the inning and just before this started, Alvin Dark talked to Doug Harvey, I'm sure, about the way Sutton has been holding men on base. There's a picture of it.
Bando, 0 for 3. He's hit. Bando hit by the pitch ball. Well, that puts a runner on and brings up Jackson, who's flying out, walked and singled.
Well, there was nowhere for him to go, and it's a bad sign to start an inning off that way because he's just gotten out of a bases-loaded spot, so they immediately get Mike Marshall up in the bullpen. We'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
The 1-strike delivery, and he accidentally hits it down the left field line. Bando's coming on to third. Jackson on the pull hamstring goes into second. The A's have runners on second and third, nobody out.
I
And
think
here's
that'll be
Alston
all.
coming out.
I wouldn't be surprised now if he will lip Sutton immediately. It was a bad break to get in trouble on a half swing with the infield swung around to play first. Jackson checks his swing and rolls one into left for a double. We take a look at the check swing. He's just trying to hold up. He started to make his stride in, got to about there and said, no, I don't want it. And it hit the bat. And with Say overshifted, the ball went between Ron down the line.
You see the little smile?
There's a Christmas double.
Right.
And I think now, I'm just guessing, he'll go right to the bullpen.
I thought so. I'll take it. Reggie says I'll take it.
Sutton hits Sal Bando to open up the ninth inning. And then Reggie Jackson gets a break with his check swing double past third. Los Angeles manager Walter Alston calls on the National League Cy Young Award winner Mike Marshall. For Iron Mike, it's his 110th appearance of the year.
Mike Marshall is his own man, isn't he, Ben? Many interesting theories he has.
Yes, one of them is that mound he's standing on. You know, when you come in from the bullpen, no matter how many times you come in, it takes you a moment or two to get accustomed to the mound. Catfish Hunter said yesterday that was his biggest problem. And Marshall says most relief pitchers make a mistake. They come in and warm up, making some casual pitches. When he comes to the mound, his primary concern is to throw as hard as he can, as if he's facing a hitter, to immediately get accustomed to the mound. It is never the same as it is in wherever you've warmed up.
He has pitched now the incredible total of 201 games the last 2 years. There's his record for this season.
Fastball, screwball, and slider.
He's facing Joe Rudy, who has struck out, flied out, hit into a force out. Rudy's up with Bando at third, Jackson at second, nobody out, and the Dodgers ahead 3-0 in the ninth inning.
We were saying the A's get the maximum out of the minimum. Here they are with a hit batter and a check swing, and they're in business.
They've had 5 hits. The Dodgers have had 6 hits. Larry Haney is the next scheduled batter. Had him waving at the Scroochie. No balls and a strike.
When the Dodgers were in Houston recently, he lectured at Rice University. He has his doctorate in kinesiology, the study of body motion and what the muscles do and don't do.
I was going to say, I bet you didn't lecture on pitching. There's a drive into center field. There's one run in. Here comes Jackson in. And the tying run is at first base now. For the A's in the top of the ninth inning. As Rudy knocks in 2.
Joe Rudy whistles a single past Marshall, scoring Bando and Jackson.
A hit batsman, a double to the wrong field by Jackson, and a single up the middle by Rudy. And the A's are back in business, and Charlie Finley says, go get him. Larry Haney. He's up for the first time in this series. Check it, Gene Tennis. Gene Tennis, the batter. Strike to him.
Angel Mangual on deck to bat for Haney.
They're playing tennis deep and toward left. You fastball him and he'll drive at a distance. He had 26 homers this year. That's a strike. He came right in there with it.
Yeah, he has a little slider to complement the fastball and the screwball. Mike, I think if I had a chart in front of me, I would believe that he is more effective at the start of an inning than he would be with men on base.
Ron Say is right on top of that third base line. He doesn't want anything to go down the line. Took him out. He turned it over, and Tennis strikes out.
Yeah, that's the screwball. That means now that 10 A's struck out today. 8 went down against Messersmith yesterday. Marshall had 1. That means 19 strikeouts in the 2 games.
Angel Manuel is a pinch hitter. He had 233 this year, 9 homers, 43 RBIs. Still at first base, the tying run for Oakland, Joe Rudy. One down.
Who was batting in the batting order, the number 7 position.
Now they've corrected.
I tell you what, they've got that messed up. That's not a right announcement at all.
Oh, Odom.
It's typical of the A's, though, to have a mess up, isn't it?
Odom was placed number 2 in the order.
That's right. He is batting for Larry Haney, who went in to catch after Fosse had gone out for the hitter. That's the way we had learned it, and now the runner taking over is the speedster, Herb Washington.
He's the only man in baseball, and it could only happen with the Oakland Ball Club, where they hire a man to do nothing but run. Herb Washington, a world-class sprinter, holds a world indoor record in the 50, 100-yard dashes. He is now running for Joe Rudy at first base.
I might repeat something we mentioned yesterday. Marshall, for a right-hander, is very quick in coming over to first base. So if Herb Washington, representing the tying run, tries to take too much of a lead, he would be susceptible. Marshall can come over there in a hurry.
Washington had to learn how to get a lead, how to slide. He's done it almost on sheer speed. And he's won some games late in the year. Maury Wills worked with him in spring training.
Wouldn't that be something to have somebody tutored by Wills come back to haunt the Dodgers?
Right. Pitches a strike. 29 steals for Washington. He was caught 16 times. He's run the 100-yard dash outdoors just in 9-2. When he makes it, he does it those great legs. Still trying to find out how to get a lead, he says.
Marshall is trying to take advantage of his, let's say, lack of maturity by stepping off the rubber twice now and faking a throw. And the third time.
3-2 Los Angeles. Herb Washington at first. Reggie Jackson and Alvin Dark watching intensely.
They got him. Yes, sir.
Marshall picked him up.
I knew if he was going to try and take that lead, Mike was too quick for him, and he nailed him. He really set him up by stepping off the rubber 3 times. And that was all part of it. Now watch out. He's got him leaning on his right leg. He is hung out to dry all the way. Take it from another look, and it's simply experience over immaturity. And look at there. He is dead.
The outspoken A's players have criticized their manager for using Washington at times. Nothing personal against him, but they just don't think that he has the instincts for baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They're going to call it a strike. It's going to be 0-2.
0-2 now. So now the tying runs at the plate instead of on the bases. They're 2 down, nobody on. The Dodgers with a 1-run lead.
Screwball.
That's it. Getting the screwball. The Los Angeles Dodgers have evened up the World Series. Marshall's pickoff of Washington at first, and then striking out the pinch hitter Manuel. Walter Alston congratulating Tommy John, who had his arm operated on. Sutton is the winner. Vida Blue is the loser. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Los Angeles, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Oakland. 1 homer in the game. Joe Ferguson in the 6th inning. A man on. And the A's gave it a scrap. They had the bases loaded. 1 out in the 8th. And Bill North wrapped into a double play. Then they had 2 runs in. A runner on first, nobody out. But the Dodgers have evened the series, and now they'll go to Oakland Tuesday night with Catfish Hunter facing Al Downing. a right-hander against a left-hander. Tony Kubek is down on the field. And let's go down to Tony.
Complete ball game for Don Sutton. Heck of a ball game and a good relief job from Marshall. Don, congratulations.
Thank you, Tony. I don't think you can say enough for the job that Mike did. I tell you, that shows you why he's such a fantastic relief pitcher. Not only does he come in and make it tough on the hitters, but he makes it tough on the runners, too. And you can't say enough for a job that, as you and I mentioned before, that Steve Garvey did at first base, because if he doesn't come up with that ball, we're in a heck of a jam. I'm personally in a heck of a jam.
2 runs, and he did make a heck of a play, and he's been credited for his bat, but not enough for that defensive play. And he also made a good tag for the last out or the second last out of this ball game on Herb Washington.
He did. It was a little tough for him to handle, but he came up with it. And I think you're right. I think in the fact that he has done so much offensively, we have overlooked the fact that he's got that fantastic pair of hands over there. I tell you, he's got the sweetest hands since Wes Parker, and he could do it. And like I've said before, it's the best Dodger ball club I've been on, and I think they showed you today why I feel that way.
Were you as sharp in this ball game as you were in the championship series against Pittsburgh?
I think I was for about 6 innings, but I just kind of ran a little short on petrol out there, and then in the 9th inning, a couple of things that I definitely didn't want to happen happened. I didn't want to hit the leadoff man. I was trying to get in on him, and ball sailed on me, and I hit him, and then made what I thought was a couple of good pitches to Reggie and get a check swing double inside the line. But, you know, those are things that you overlook when the results are the way you want them, and they certainly are.
Don, what about the adjustment that some of these Dodger hitters might have made off Blue? It looked like they were trying to pull him as they did Holtzman and Fingers yesterday, and then Ferguson hits the ball to dead center field. Has there been some adjusting on your club as far as their pitching staff?
Well, I think everybody on the staff, everybody on the club knew that he is a good high fastball pitcher. This ball was really live up there, and I believe that the only definite adjustment our hitters made was that they wanted to lay off of that one that was questionable. Make him bring the ball down just a little bit, because seemingly it wasn't quite as live, 6 inches lower, and I think Fergie likes the ball there, and he got one to his liking, and that's no surprise to me to see him hit him out of there, because he's going to hit one over that right field fence. I mean all the way over the thing. I don't mean into the seats. He has the strength of a Stargell, and so it's no surprise.
An off day tomorrow. Let's look till Tuesday. Starter for you, Al Downing. You saw him late in the season. How is he throwing?
Al came on strong for us. He pitched a 2-hit shutout up to San Francisco that we had to have. Then he came in against the Pirates the other day and pitched very well. Here's a guy that's been here before. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart pitcher. He knows how to change speeds. And I think that's what you have to do to these guys. You can't go out there and pitch them one speed anyway, whether it's one breaking ball right after the other or one fastball right after the other. But I think our fate's in good hands with Al Downing.
I think so, too. He's a veteran. He's been through it before. I'd like your opinion on the pinch runner, Herb Washington. Unfortunately, with a tying run in this ballgame, gets picked off first base. Do you have any opinion as far as a pinch runner? Can he serve the purpose as Herb Washington has done for this ball club? What kind of reports did you guys have on Herb Washington from your pitching staff department?
Well, we got a report that anytime you see Herb Washington come in the pinch run, look for him to steal. Because I guess that, like the scoreboard said out here, he's the baseball's first designated runner. So, you know, he's not out there to check the pitcher's move out in order to get a scouting report on the outfielder's arms. He's out there to run, and I think that's what we expected him to do.
Don Sutton, congratulations. See you Tuesday in Oakland.
Well, we're even up, and we'll take it from there. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks again. Our congratulations to the Dodgers. Back upstairs.
The A's now have the tying run on first in the person of world-class sprinter Herb Washington, who replaces Rudy with 1 out. Washington, the A's designated runner, tells of his unique job as baseball's newest specialist.
When Mr. Finley signed me, his hopes were that I could win anywhere from 5 to 10 ball games. By Alvin Dark's count, I've won 8, so I would say that it has been successful.
Mike Marshall moves toward first, gets 1 strike on pinch hitter Angel Manuel, then plays cat and mouse with Washington. Marshall succeeds with a vital pickoff. And here's the replay with Herb Washington commenting on the action.
When I win the ball game, Alvin just said, pick up the sign for me, and I'll let you know whether we want you to steal or not. I received the steal sign. I got a lead that I thought I was comfortable with. But the first time Mike Marshall came to first base, it was a little bit deceptive in that I thought that was probably his best move. Took maybe another half a step on the lead, and that's the move of which he picked me off on.
With 2 out of the bases clear, Mike Marshall strikes out Angel Manuel, and the Dodgers tie the series at 1 game apiece with a 3-2 victory.